Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January update from the ID&I team. You're here with me, Fola, and we have a new team member on board. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Karim, and he's going to give his overview, and we can introduce our new team member.
Thank you, Fola. Yes, we have very excited to welcome Luca, who is a student of mathematics with Professor Benz Miller. He will tell us more about his background, but you'll see he's very impressive. Looking forward to having you on board, Luca. This month has been, we continued our work both on the core TML product and the Agoras Live product, which is currently being rebranded, as we all know. So on the TML side, Maurici kept working on the performance of the eval predicate, and he is measuring or running benchmarks on eval, and has prototyped a program transformation optimization that will help with running eval. It also helps with CQC optimizations. And he's even working on a parallel version of eval. So a lot of focus there, mainly on executing eval faster. Hawan continued his work on the ERC token with the help of Ohad and Fola, basically the transition to ERC20, working with the exchange that will first list us, and working on some tools for that. He's also started working on the payment system for the Agoras Live, switching it from the Omni layer to an ERC token. So trying to replicate some of the features we had on the Omni layer side for micropayments. Thomas continued his work on both the TML and the TML IDE. Which we're hoping, we're looking at when we can release that, but we'll talk about that later. But on the TML side, he finished the transformation of nested programs into one merged program, and he added flow control, just like in any other language, of if, then, else, and then while statements. He also, on the IDE side, made the execution of TML programs run in the background thread so that they don't block the UI thread. And he converted the IDE page to a progressive web app to give it a more native app feel. And he's also working on the documentation for TML and reworking the introduction to TML. So all of that in preparation for a 1.0 release of TML, hopefully in the first quarter of this year. On the Agoras Live side, Andre is trying to finalize the testing. He's going to need some more help, probably from a specialized tester, but for now, he's doing all the thorough testing himself and fixing some minor issues as he finds them, implementing some other small features such as image size optimization and compression. He also implemented the feature called the recurring group calls for future utilization on TL. And we're all working on, or at least redesigning the discovery algorithms for students to help students find teachers and to help teachers get discovered by students. And Moaz is still refining, as part of the rebranding effort, working on the redesign of the Agoras Live page. Basically, we transitioned from using the two tools called Sketch and Zeppelin to using one tool called Figma, which integrates the functionality of both. He has a redesign for the front page, and we all gave him our feedback. And he redesigned also some of the other smaller pages to go along with that. And but Andre still has to implement those redesigns. But yeah, we're all meeting on a regular basis now to push the new design of the Agora slide. That's it for the month of January. Pass it back to Fola.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Karim. All right, let me introduce Luca Siemens.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fola. So I'm very happy to be here now. I just joined this week. I've had some preparation talks and calls with Ohad and Professor Bensmiller, who is an external advisor to the company. I'm a student of his, and I will join the team in order to work on the second order quantified Boolean side of the TML language. So the let's say the logical foundations of TML in the higher order domain. Yeah, regarding my background, I've done, I'm in my master's at the moment. I've done a bachelor thesis together with Christoph Bensmiller and Dana Scott, who is a famous logician from the US, and we managed to generalize Ernst Freud-Frei's games in finite model theory to a categorical framework. And this thesis was published, which was a great success. Besides that, I've been working on VR development during the past 2 years. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah, so very looking forward to get involved here with my mathematical skills. So thank you a lot.
Thank you very much, Luca. Great to have you here, and I'm sure you're going to be a fantastic member of the team. Okay, right now I'll pass it over to Maurici for his update this month.
This month, or in the previous month, I've mostly been working in performance, as Karim mentioned, and the general direction of this of these improvements have been reducing table sizes, as I noticed that particularly large table sizes were causing a little bit of a slowdown in interpretation of quoted programs. So I continued my work on finding ways to avoid computations and to avoid storing results in tables. Another thing which I was working on was a different algorithm for domain generation. So before I was generating domains for quoted programs by just enumerating each element of the domain, but now I'm using arithmetical formulas in order to generate domains. So this uses just a little bit of modular arithmetic, remainders and quotients in order to encode lists in numbers. Another thing which I was working on was a binary body transformation, which essentially converts all TML rules into rules that only have one conjunct. So if a rule had 5 conjuncts before, it is reduced into multiple rules with a single conjunct. Now this has been done before, but my work has been to generalize that in order to support TML rules with negation, which is a little bit more complicated. We're still kind of prototyping that functionality, and we hope to find a faster way, a better, faster transformation than the one we have right now. Again, I was also benchmarking performance, and I was just particularly looking at the intersection of CQC, conjunctive query containment, and CQNC, which is containment with negation. I was looking at the effects of those optimizations in eval and trying to see if one could help the other. And right now the results haven't been so good, but I hope to find ways in order to make CQC more applicable to eval in the coming month. Another line of investigation has been the parallelization of eval, which is we know that TML programs, when they're encoded in a certain format, are parallelizable and can be run on multiple cores. So I was looking at alternative implementations of eval, which support which are in a format which support this kind of parallelization. And yes, and I've also just started playing around a little bit with the parser generator and seeing how we can improve its performance. I guess with the Val, there's been a lot of improvement in the speed over the past month. I think maybe at least 10 times or 20 times. So I just hope that I can continue this progress in the performance. Thank you.
Incredible progress there, Marisi. Okay, I'll pass it over to Tomasz for his update this month.
So hello, everyone. Regarding TML, I have finished transformation of nested programs, including conditional statements, if and while. There is more information and examples in the README of the TML repository. And also you can try this transformation and conditional programs online already. Regarding the online TML editor, I've moved the TML execution into a web worker, so it does not block the main thread with UI when you run TML programs. I've fixed UI errors like wrong content overflow, and also I've made the execution of TML more stable. I've also converted the page into a progressive web app, so it can work offline and it's installable on some devices. And with all these fixes, it's been okay to be deployed, so you can try it on tml.idni.org. And now I'm working on the updated introduction into TML, so it should replace the old intro, and I've started to examine options to store files right in the browser or elsewhere in the cloud somewhere. So that is all from me this month.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tomasz. The link to the the IDE will be in the description, so please check that out. Now I'll put it over to Moaz for his update this month.
Yeah, hi everyone. So during this month, or let's say at the beginning of this month, we were trying to think our design workflow, because when I was pushing design list changes to Zeppelin, there was we were facing some issues from being Zeppelin being up to date. So eventually we landed that we're going to use Figma for doing all the design work. So instead of using Sketch for doing the design work and then pushing the work to Zeppelin so developers can work from there, we have now just Figma, so we can collaborate as designer and also developer from the same software, and also it's cloud-based, so anyone can see at any time what changes were made. So after that, after we decided that, I moved the first iteration of Agoras live that currently Andrew is working on to Figma, and send the team the link. And also I moved the design system plus the refined design to Figma, and we took it from then. We had a couple of meetings discussing the design, and then I think we made some changes on the front page, or say how we display profiles in the home page, and that reflected also in a couple of other scopes or other features. After that, I dispatched the new design, or I implemented the new design system to be in the home page or the front end page. So we now have I made some changes in both in UI UX, and also we discussed that, and the team has a lot of comments, and we settled that we need more research on what users will need to see in the homepage in order to let's say decide whether to go for a specific, let's say, person or not. So eventually I'm just trying to implement currently the suggestions or recommendations from the team, and also on the other side trying research more on the user persona or the user perspective. So yeah, this is for me this month. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Moaz. And yeah, the design's looking great. And yeah, it's really coming along. I'll put it over to Andre now for his update this month.
Hello everyone. So this month, just as Karim told, I was mainly fixing small issues over Agoras Live to be sure everything is working as intended before passing the testing to some professional tester. Yes, because we want to cover as much issues as possible, and they all flowed. Also, along the way, I've added the needed image compression. Now every image is compressed into 3 sizes to use in different parts of Agoras Live. Also, let me share my screen to be more descriptive. I started to move slowly to Moa's design because we had a lot of talks over how Agoras Live should look like, to be on one hand visually attractive, on the other hand visually descriptive. So I started slowly to move to Moa's design into overall design of Agoras Live. But it's not the priority now, because priority now is to, of course, make everything work. And this is small feature I will show you just for you to understand what we're talking about. So now every teacher can add or set some time to busy or create a public lecture. Everyone can join for a payment, of course, or for free. It's up to the teacher. And when you select a public lecture, of course, you want maybe to set it to every day or every week, same time, and so you can choose it. So you can make a duration, and for example, is a team meeting, yeah, paid, yeah, and we have this team meeting now on our calendar, and everyone can join it. It will just let me refresh the page. It will show. Here we have the team meeting every week, or I set it to every day, and anyone can join. And so for the testing, I have the pretty big list of things I needed to cover over Agoras Live, and I'm moving on this list. It's not full yet, but I think I'm in the middle somewhere. But of course, I'm trying to move as fast as possible. So that's pretty much it for January. I will move with testing, and I will try to finish testing as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone, guys.
Excellent, well done. I really like that lecture feature. I hadn't seen it before until now, so it's awesome. All right, Killian, you're up. Please, your update.
Thank you. So hi, everybody. This month I've been working on several things. First, I've been continuing to work on the Tau presentation. As we are getting closer to a final version of it, it was more about fine-tuning rather than changing the narrative, which we've previously done various times. Also, we've changed the platform to produce the presentation to LaTeX. So that was a little bit of a learning curve to understand how to work with that environment. And as a result of that, also currently the presentation is more text-driven than previously image-driven. Also, we redefined the Tau supporter program. It's now close to be launched. Fuller and I recorded an explainer video, and currently it just has to be edited. And once we have the explainer video ready, we want to roll out the supporter program. Also, Fuller and I have done some research on companies that provide fiat on-ramp for crypto, in particular in our case for Agoras. So we ended up finding a good solution, which is Transac, and they connect to Uniswap, and we are looking to integrate that in Agoras Live. So you or anyone interested can basically use his credit card, debit card, or do it or purchase Agoras via wire transfer. I've also created a list of crypto-focused YouTubers because YouTube is a very powerful tool to get noticed among the crypto community. So yeah, I've started aggregating all relevant YouTube channels. So also if you know any YouTube channel that is crypto-focused, feel free to share it in the Telegram group. I'm also currently doing outreach towards these YouTubers, trying to get coverage for us, either in the form of a review so that the YouTuber reviews our project, or in the form of an interview where we are able to explain our project in more detail. I've also experimented with 4chan a bit, which is also kind of a good platform to get noticed in the crypto community. But so far I wasn't able to get much traction there, so I have to test more. But I would really like to get more attention to our project via 4chan. Besides that, I've been just doing some regular community support in channels like Telegram, and also had some longer conversations with certain community members. And also the community member of the month is this time Felix, for contributing a lot to the discussions on Telegram. So congratulations, and that's it from me. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Killian. And congratulations, Felix. And right, let's pass it over to Juan for his update this month.
Thank you, Fola. Hi, everybody. So this month, after the SC token wrap up that we mentioned in the last talk, I focus on what is the payment channel system for Agoras Live, but now based on the Ethereum blockchain. So what I'm basically reusing is a WebRTC peer-to-peer connection that we already mentioned, I think, back in early December, as something that we were already completing. So through this peer-to-peer connection, we can basically implement what is the off-chain payment channel for the Agoras Live, where basing on what is multi-signature wallet, working or as a smart contract on Ethereum, we can support two clients, or to Agoras Live users to basically submit the payments for a session in a peer-to-peer manner, of course, or based on or supported by the Agoras token. So this is in the early prototype stage, but already working here locally. So we're looking forward to wrap up possibly during February and start integrating this payment system in the actual Agoras Live platform. So that was my main focus, testing this because it's a critical component of the system. And of course, looking forward to wrap it up as soon as possible and possibly get back to TML development in the short term. So that's basically all from my side by now.
Thank you very much, Juan. Great update there. And for me, I've mainly been working on the token swap alongside pretty much everyone, really. So that's coming quite soon. We were initially looking to have all of the exchanges that we're working with do it on the same day, but it looks like it's going to be across different days. But we'll roll out the dates to you as soon as we can. It's likely that it will be either next week or maybe one of them might be the week after that, but it's likely we're going to be next week. So beyond that, as you know, we've got such big news with the exchanges. We're also working on the marketing. So I have been reaching out to crypto-focused marketing companies. We've already been speaking to some of the more traditional marketing companies as well, to assist us in this push alongside the launch of Agoras Live and the swap and sort of all the great things that we're going to be doing over the next couple of months. And regarding the designer as well, as I mentioned last week, unfortunately, sorry, not last week, sorry, the last update, as I mentioned, we unfortunately lost our designer, but we are speaking to new designers now. In fact, after this call, we'll go straight into a call with another designer. So hopefully that goes all well. They've actually worked with the designer that we wanted to use before. So, you know, hoping that, you know, they can do something great for us and we can work together in a really productive way. We are close to coming to a decision on the new name for Agoras Live. As you know, that we can't publicly release, like full publicly release Agoras Live with the Agoras name because there's another company called Agoras, and we'll hope to push the new name out pretty soon as well. It's very, very close. So as soon as we have that, we'll put that out too. And yeah, just been working on a lot of the typical business development things in IDNI and making sure things are going along smoothly. So that's it from me. All right, over to Ahad.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. So I've been involved in matters that has to do with the listings and swap that is upcoming, as well as continuing the discussion with Professor Franconi about KRR, knowledge representation languages that are suitable for Tau. It is a very long and deep discussion, which is ongoing. There are so many considerations which don't typically arise in other systems because the complexity of the laws of changing the laws. And of course, the decidability issues. And on the front of second order logic, I discovered some new methods that has to do with the, let's call it permutation elimination, the ability to eliminate permuted arguments in relations, as well as taking some ideas from SMT solvers, in particular the Ackermann encoding, so-called, which brings me to think that the solution that we're looking for second order logic for about a year is close. I think that quite soon we will have, relatively soon, we will have some initial solution on the table. And that's all for now.
Amazing. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Stay on and we'll have your Q&A questions answered. Thank you. All righty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Q&A. And we have a question from Vadim, and they ask, will we be able to use TML in VS Code /Eclipse/Jupyter, or will we have to wait for a dedicated environment?
Okay, so you can run, you can write TML code in any editor. It's just a text file, and there is so far there is no special support for TML in those name browsers, editors, but it can be certainly added to these browsers or editors.
And this question is from Agent 47. And they ask, how has TML been developed so far? Is it production ready at every step of the way, or is quality only to be added at the end?
So TML is essentially a runtime environment for the language. You can think of it as a compiler. Our approach essentially is that we only implement a feature when we know we're 100% sure that we have the mathematically correct algorithm to do it. We call that correct by design philosophy to development. And as such, basically, it's not an application where it has a lot of dangling features that need to be taken care of. It's much more amenable to regression testing. Also, we do a lot of that. So the answer to your question is that for sure, the quality is built into the product from the beginning, feature by feature, and we're certainly not waiting till the end to fix all the bugs. That's not to say that bugs cannot happen. There has been bugs and they have been fixed, but that's not the way we develop software.
All right, and this next question is for Ahad, and this is from Agent 47 again, and they ask, is BTC and Agoras pretty much your only crypto holdings?
Yeah, well, I'm not a crypto investor at all. In fact, I'm not an investor in anything at all. I don't follow markets. I don't have the time and energies to follow. So I'm just not into this.
All right, excellent. And another one from Agent 47, and they ask, how will risk-free interest without inflation work? All locked Agoras get a slice of the hedging action on the network, weighted according to how long it's being locked. I guess there's a will all locked Agoras we get a slice of hedging action on the network, weighted to how long it's being locked.
Well, the mechanism of risk-free interest relies on derivatives market that we will develop over Agoras, and a certain combination of derivatives can give risk-free interest, as was shown long ago by Black and Scholes themselves. It's not so simple to explain, but I warmly refer you to the part of the white paper that explains this.
This question is from Victor Serrano Lopez, and they ask, will the Agoras tokens be necessary to maintain the security of the network through execution of validators in a system like proof of stake?
So whether or not Agoras or Tau will end up running over proof of stake will be up by the users. So the consensus can change over time according to whatever the users desire it to be. So it's not fixed yet. It will be decided upon users' consensus when Tau is being launched.
There's another one by Victor Serrano Lopez, and in total there are 4. And they ask, Tau pretends to be a decentralized intelligent blockchain that updates itself and learns from humans. That is, a cybernetic intelligent agent like the one featured in the movie Transcendent. Is that correct?
So it's definitely correct that Tau is able to update itself and learns from humans through our communication paradigm that we have developed, which is called human-machine-human communication. So basically humans or users talk to the machine in formal languages, and by that the machine can understand what the users have to say, and therefore over time the machine aggregates that a knowledge base consisting of all the formalized knowledge that has been aggregated over the system, and by that the machine can, for example, engage in discussions for you and comment upon matters or discussions without you actually having to be there. So you can see Tau as a system that over time becomes more intelligent as more knowledge is being formalized over the network.
And the third question from Victor Serrano Lopez, and they ask, will developers be able to use Tau for their decentralized applications and teach it tasks to make it smarter for various purposes?
Well, yes, Tau presents not only a paradigm for collaborative decision-making, but also for collaborative software development, first and foremost for developing itself, but also for developing other applications. And this development paradigm is knowledge-oriented and consensus-oriented. Knowledge-oriented in the sense that people simply add more and more knowledge or opinions to the system. And what the software should do emerges from, is implied from the knowledge that people formalized, and also consensus oriented. It takes the part that everyone agrees on, and that's the software. So yes, people can write software, develop new software over Tau, decentralized software, which gets smart with time because people add more and more knowledge, and the software changes accordingly.
Thank you very much, Ahad. And the last question from Victor Serrano Lopez is, since Ethereum is the global network par excellence for smart contracts and dApps due to network effects, that I created as the first project of this type, could Tau be the global artificial intelligent network on which all new consulting infrastructure is developed?
Yes, definitely. As we have discussed before, as more knowledge is being aggregated over the platform, that knowledge can be used by companies, by individuals, to consult other projects, or to more specifically to participate in discussions with that knowledge, even automatically without the person who has originally provided the specific piece of knowledge needing to be there. So the network can on its own participate in discussions and consult companies in very specific matters. So the answer definitely is yes.
That's it. Thank you so much for tuning into our Q&A. As I mentioned before, you'll be able to find the TML IDE link in the description of the video, and we'll see you in Telegram and on future updates. Thank you.